Hello everyone and welcome back to IB Mathlogy. Today's video is useful for all those who are new to GDC. Today's topic is solving quadratic equations using GDC. So let's start with some basics first. Before going to the GDC, let's first understand how a quadratic equation looks like. So if I write y is equals to ax square plus bx plus c, so this is my quadratic function where the condition is a cannot be 0. Now, whether your quadratic curve will be concave up or concave down in the shape is purely dependent upon this value a. If I say that my a is greater than 0, so it will produce a shape which is like this, that is known as concave up. And if this coefficient is less than 0, so it produces the shape like this, which is known as concave down. So this is how we decide the shape of the quadratic equation. Now, there are some terms like intercepts. So there are two types of intercept. One is x-intercept, another one is y-intercept. This is the first term which we will be understanding. What is a vertex? How to calculate the vertex. Third one is the axis of symmetry. All these we will be calculating using GDC. But before that, we should see how to represent all the three above mentioned. So these are the x-intercepts which you can see for this particular concave up parabola. The minima point is the vertex which will consist of x and y values, and the x coordinate of this vertex is known as axis of symmetry. So let's say I am saying x is equals to minus 3. If I am getting my minimum point as minus 3, so this becomes my axis of symmetry equation. Then we have y-intercept where the curve or the parabola cuts the y-axis. Now let's understand all this with the help of an example. Now let's take this example where we have two curves, x square plus 5x plus 6 and 2x square plus 2x minus 4. So first is we have to solve for x. We are not going to solve this manually. I'll show you how to use GDC to find the values of x. And then we will be graphing this also using GDC, and we will be solving the last part also using GDC. So let's start. Now we want to find the value of x. So we will first go in run matrix. We'll press option, calc, and we'll use nsolve. Then we will be putting the value x square plus 5x plus 6, that is equals to 2x square plus 2x minus 4. Close the bracket, execute, exit. So these are the two values of x that we are getting. Now if we want to see this on graph, then we will go to graphs. We will again write down the equation x square plus 5x plus 6, and another one is 2x square plus 2x minus 4. We will draw the graph. These are the two curves. Now we'll press G solve and we'll find the intersection. So as you can see, minus 2 comma 0 is my first intersection, and when we will press this key, we will get another point as 5 comma 56. So this is how we can solve for x. Now to solve C part, we are given with both the equation, but the first equation is greater than the second. So what to do when you have a condition given to you like this? How you will use GDC in this? So let's see. Now to find the value of x for this condition, we will go in graph. We will first write the equation x square plus 5x plus 6, and since this is greater than the other one, so first we will change the type. We have greater than, so I will select this, and now I can put the value 2x square plus 2x minus 4. Now we'll do the same thing. We will draw both the functions. So if you can see, because my y1 is greater than y2, so I can see the shaded region here, and when I press GSolve, I can see the intersection point. So the values are from -2 to 5. So this is your required region. This is how we can solve any equation like this using GDC. Now let's take another example like y is equals to 2x square plus 8x minus 10. Now for this quadratic function, we can calculate intercepts, minima point, vertex, y-intercept, everything using GDC. So let's see. Now let's see what all we can find out for a particular quadratic equation. So I will take equation 2x square plus 8x minus 10. I will press execute, draw. So you have to go in V window, standardize, and then again draw. If you see this kind of thing, so you can press minus so that it comes in your given window. Now we'll press G solve. So my first is the root. So if you see, root is -5, so x value is -5, and another is x equals to 1. So this is how we can find out the x-intercept. Again press G solve. Since this is the lower one is the minima point, so we will press on minima. So this is -2 comma -18, and you have to remember that this x is equals to -2 is your axis of symmetry as well. Again press G solve. Let's see if we have a y-intercept. Yes, we have at -10. Again you can press G solve, and if you have two curves, then we can find out the intersection by pressing F5. And if you want to calculate any particular value of y, so you can press F1. You can enter the x value. Let's say I enter x as 0. So I can get my y value. Similarly, you can do for the x value also. So this is how we can find out all x-intercepts, axis of symmetry, y-intercept, like that. That's how you solve quadratics using GDC in seconds. Subscribe to IB Mathlogy for more IB math tips. Thank you everyone.